All right, so this is kind of an impromptu. I want to show you what I needed to do with all the plant starts that I had because I planted them middle of March, almost third week, and I expected that by the time they were big enough to go outside would be ready for them. But this is not the case. We are still a little too cold and don't have enough sunshine. We've got some dreary days ahead this next week, and obviously all these plants would not fit on that little shelf unit where I started them with the grow lights. So what we did was get some LED shop lights. I've seen on several channels, especially Jason over at Cog Hill Farm. You can find his site in my subscription list. He started seeds with LED shop lights, and while I know that those fancy purple grow lights probably work better, and I will bring them down here and use them for seed starts, once a plant is big enough to where it just really needs light and good water, I'm going to bring them down here. This is obviously my basement, and we set up just two old 8-foot tables that we had. This one is obviously tomatoes, the entire table. Until you get down to that window box, flower box down there. I have everything. Oh, I still have some in a lasagna pan and on a platter. I'm down to like 2 tomatoes in that platter. Over here, yesterday, I finally repotted all the peppers. And instead of buying plant trays, which, you know, are flimsy and expensive, even at Walmart, I just bought these tubs because I can use them forever for this purpose or any other purpose because they come with lids. So I filled all but I think I had 6 pots over here that I didn't have peppers to put in. I thought I had 39 pepper plants, and I ended up with like 45 pepper plants because those little habaneros, they're so tiny and they grow so much slower and later than the rest of the pepper plants. I had 3 more than I thought I had. I mean, granted, they're dinky. Let me see if I can even get a look at them through the lights. You know, these little pepper plants over here, they're pretty awful dinky, but you know what? They're a habanero pepper plant. I'm going to get some hot pink out of that and all kinds of good stuff. But when I filled all my tubs, I had half a dozen little pots left in here, and I had lots of potting soil, so I'm trying to get on the ground cherries. And, you know, it's a nice, good, fresh potting mix. One thing that you will notice in my troughs is that the water you see is brown, you know, and the color did not come from the potting mix. This is something I don't think I've ever heard anybody using, and I'm only using it because I have it right now. We'll call it rabbit water. So last year, when I did my first rain gutter grow system garden, I knew from listening to Kevin and Sarah at Living Traditions Homestead, and you can find them on my subscription list as well. They are fabulous people. I learned tons from them. They grow meat rabbits, and they use rabbit manure direct in their garden as fertilizer. Rabbit manure is one of those things that it's not strong enough to burn your vegetables. You know, it won't hurt them, but oh my goodness, will it make them grow. And so I've had these partial tubs outdoors of leftover rabbit manure that I'm just allowing to compost, and a bunch of it did get rainwater in it last year, and you know, rainwater is better for plants than well water. So this year, when I uncovered the tubs of rabbit manure getting into the garden prep thing, I found one tub that had very little manure and a whole bunch of rainwater. And you know what? That is probably, I hope and pray, if my experience with rabbit manure is any indication, it's going to work better than Miracle-Gro. Y'all pray with me, because some of my tomato plants were getting a little puny. And, you know, the rest of them obviously look awesome. I mean, look at this honker. You know, this is my very first try at growing vegetables from seed. That's a red cherry tomato. Oh, my goodness. We're just going to have tons. Tons and tons and tons. Ooh, that's an aromatic one, too. Boy, if I had smell-o-vision, you'd be shocked how good that smells. Anyway, so we have rabbit water, and there's one more thing I wanted to show you. Now, this, I have no idea whether it'll work or not, because in this window box, I put asparagus seeds. Now, the package said to soak them for a day or so, 12 to 24 hours, before you put them in the soil. I'm not patient enough. I was down here. I was tired. I wanted to get stuff done. So I spread the asparagus seeds in the fresh potting mix, and I soaked them from the top. I simply poured a whole lot of this rabbit water over them. So I guess we'll see together whether or not the asparagus comes up, so I can get the asparagus plants growing and ready to transfer to the bed that I have made for them outside. Anyway, this is another update on our plant situation. Yeah, so you can see there's some potting soil in with the rabbit water and these tomato plants. We have a leaf that's looking a little dead. No problem pulling that off. We'll let the rest of them suck the water out. Hey, look who joined me in the basement. Pumpkin, what you doing? What you doing, Pumpkin? You come to join me in the basement. Oh, she's my precious girl. Pumpkin finally got the haircut she needed so desperately. All right. Well, now you know what's going on. I will keep you updated when I move them. And, you know, when we get our rain gutter grow system set up again. It looks like... Wow, we're going to have like over 100 containers with plants, and some of them will have multiple plants going out in our garden, and I'll have extra plants to bless some friends with. So y'all have a gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful, awesome day. Pumpkin says, may the good Lord who blesses us each and every day of our lives bless you as well. Today and always. Right, Pumpkin? Right, Pumpkin?